Hey guys, I just finished a shift. I was on from 6 p.m. last night. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. 10 past 8 actually. I finished at 8. I tried to book off and said something happened. Tried to book off twice, but so if a phone call goes off while I'm doing this, it's just because it's my work. And I might have to pause it, so just letting you guys know what that would be. Well, I've been really questioning things about my parents and stuff, and because a whole bunch of more narratives, and it's like with the whole autism and ADHD thing, there's that, but then there's now these, just like when I was growing up, what they said about psychopaths, and it just became something I heard all the time, which was like, what? Like, there was like way back in history, not way back, but like, I can't remember the time when they weren't saying that us autistic people, or because I didn't really know anything about autism. I had heard the word, but I didn't realize I had it myself. I just knew I was different. My bodily functions were different. I can feel my heartbeats. Thought that's normal, but I actually feel my body. I can feel my heartbeats, and I can feel my bowel movements. The only reason I might not be feeling that bowel movements is like, if I'm running and working out, I'll only feel that if I need to go toilet. But as I sit here and just talk, I can actually feel it standing there, just being still. If I was hungry, I could feel the hunger. I can feel the heartbeats in my chest. And it's not more than normal, it's just normal. When I'm just sitting here talking like this, I feel it 24/7. So anyway, with the whole thing online, then I got there was a whole bunch of things back in 2020 saying how to tell the difference between a narcissist and an autistic person, or narcissist and someone who has ADHD. And now you got to 2022, things started changing a bit, and now they say, now people who have autism and people who have ADHD are not narcissists. They're sounding like how they used to say about psychopaths. They're not, because I've seen it like written in history books where it went from, now they're not, to they have higher traits of it than the normal population. And then there was a time where they said they were psychopaths, but then it turns out that then the scientists came to a conclusion later on, like a broadband conclusion, that we weren't, and that it all came down to the communication differences, and that we weren't being exploitative of others. In fact, more likely than not, we were being exploited. But then we became smarter, we learned through experience, and we got older. And see, like when I got to my early to mid-20s, I could tell when it was going on. But like if I was having a good time and I had mates and stuff and I was having a good time, and there was this one person, I knew they were taking advantage of me because they just wanted a ride home, or maybe if I was having some beers or something, they just wanted to drink some beers. I actually knew what they were doing, but I didn't mind doing it. So they might have thought they were manipulating me, but I actually didn't mind doing it because I was having a good time. There's no, and these things were just a little thing, just little things to do, and it was no major, so why make a big deal out of it, And it was just my thought pattern. But then, once it got a bit more personal, when they just overstepping the boundary line, like they get aggressive because when I was younger, I might give them my number, but once I got to my early 20s, I wouldn't give them my number. But they text you somehow. They get the number of someone else, and they text you, and they get aggressive. So you block them. You get aggressive. They get aggressive because you didn't give them what they want, whatever it is. And then you leave it at that. And then next thing you know, they're showing up at your house, trying to do the intimidating thing, but they're not yelling. They're just like standing there looking like us, or it'll be them, the person who was threatening you over text, and then you just basically told them to piss off and shut their mouths and don't speak to me like that type of thing over the text, and then they keep going, and then you warn them a couple more times to shut up, keep their mouths shut, and then you just block them, and then it's now like 2 or 3 days later, and they pull up in a car in front of your house, and they're like staring at you as you arrive down the driveway and stuff. And then if they weren't yelling or stuff, but and then like there might be them and 2 others, and one of them hops out of the car and is just like standing there looking at you, and then you're like, what do you want? Go away, And then they just stand there looking at you, and then they go up and pump the stereo right up high volume, and then it's like, dude, like, you're trying to chill out. And you get frustrated, and then they're like, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Anyway. We're more likely to be victims of that type of stuff. So, and a lot of the things that they say that, I don't know, because people who are traumatized can do horrible things, because they're gonna, it's gonna be a part of their DNA. It'll be a part of their DNA until they get the healing. So if they choose not to get the healing, they can do terrible things by trying to deal with it by taking it out on other people. So I know that as a fact, right? Like, there's those who get traumatized like me, and then they do their very best to heal, and the only people that are going to get any aggression is those who did it to me. And, just, they did it to me and they show no remorse, and now they're getting annoyed, and they're trying to manipulate you or intimidate you because you're not doing what they want anymore. And so, and then they'll go out of their way. That'll cause aggression on my behalf towards them. Like, I'll get aggressive towards them. But obviously I'm smart enough. I figured that out when I was a lot younger too. Like, you can feel it, and you can let them know about it, or, but you don't want to give yourself a bad name because people will call it reactive abuse, or they don't even know. They paint you out to be the villain because of how have you reacted. But there's smart ways to react so that they can't do that. But at the same time as they firm boundaries. Well, that's been totally different than what I thought it would, so I'm going to do another recording. But they're now saying that autistic people and ADHD people have higher levels of narcissism than the general public. So